sure to wear headphones. Hey, could you come over here for a second? I just wanted to have a little chat with you. I'm so sorry to take you away from the other two party members, but seeing as how they're fast asleep after eating twice at their share of our rations, I don't think they'll be missing you too much. But on to the important bit. It's important, I promise. I wanted to talk to you a bit more about our mission before we enter this dungeon. Now, I know you might be scared. That's not an accusation. I'm just throwing out the possibilities here. But if you are, that's fine. Dungeons are scary things with traps and monsters and all the other horrible things. But, I've actually got some good news. You see, I talked to some rats by the entrance of the dungeon. Not in like a crazy person kind of way, more like in a druid kind of way. I'm a druid. It's what we do. But anyway, I just gave them a bit of cheese, stroked their ego a bit, complimented how nice they were keeping their fur, and they essentially gave me the quick rundown on the dungeon's layout. You know, where the traps are and all that good stuff. They even told me where all the treasure is. Basically, I've charted a path that could get us quickly and efficiently to the treasure, while bypassing all the dangers. That's right. No risk to us. Of course, I didn't just rely on their words. Well, squeaks, more like. So, I actually turned myself into a spider and did some scouting myself just to confirm and see for myself. And I can guarantee you, everything they said is true. So, like I said, the route is safe and profitable. And while we are on the topic of profit, it gets me thinking. Why should we split the loot with the other two members? I mean, the two of us have been best of friends since forever, but we just met those two not too long ago. We've really got a connection going for each other. But them? Not so much. And they're really not pulling their weight. I mean, overeating our rations aside, they're burdened by not performing their roles very well. Take the scouting, for instance. I already did that, so what's the point of the rogue? Not to mention, even if there was a point, dwarves don't make very good rogues, especially not one as clumsy as her. And as for the monk, come on, you know monks aren't useful. And let's just be real here. Why split the treasure with dead weight that we barely even know? On the other hand, I'm useful. You're useful. For my morale. And I know you like the back of your hand. I mean my hand. I promise I don't stare at your hand that much. You know what? I'll even give you a better share of the loot. You can get 60 to my 40. And think about the main reason we're here. You know, the super special magical artifact that's rumored to be in this very dungeon. Well, rumored. But the rats mentioned it specifically, so I know it's there. How are we going to split that? How are we going to decide who gets it? That's going to be quite the issue, considering how valuable it is. I mean, a chalice that can lengthen the user's lifespan? Super precious. Settling that problem of ownership is going to be more difficult than actually getting it. Especially for a reason the other two party members don't know. But since you're my good friend, I'll let you in on a little secret. See, I was talking to a tree around here earlier. Like, with the rats, it's a normal druid thing, not a crazy person thing. But the main point here is that some of these trees are really old. And I mean old. Even old enough to have seen the creation of the very artifact here in this dungeon and know all about it. And the tree was really willing to talk my pointy ears off about it when I told them that they're pretty even without flowers. So, it turns out, the artifact is single use. You can only use it once, and then it vanishes into nothingness. So, it'll grant a couple of centuries to a person's lifespan, but after that, it's gone. Which is why I think you should have it. I'm an elf. I already have such a long lifespan. But you're the human here, the only one in the party. Your lifespan is so short, and you're my best friend. So, don't you think you should be the one to have it? Now, what do you say? Want to go in there, snag that bad boy, along with the rest of the treasure, of course, and then walk out with the smuggest smiles ever? Just the two of us. Now that's what I like to hear. Let's not waste any time. Come on, right this way. Okay, this is the place. See? It's got a pedestal and everything. It's all just like the tree said. A golden chalice adorned with every kind of jewel. It looks pretty, doesn't it? It's a bit of a shame we can't sell it after we're done with it, though. Oh well, no use dwelling on it. Come on, no time to stare. There's no telling when those other two will wake up, and I'd like to avoid an awkward explanation. Okay. So, here we go. The tree told me all about how this works, so all you have to do is do what I tell you. First, grip the cup, chalice. What's wrong? Why are you hesitating? Oh, I get it. You have a healthy sense of paranoia. Don't be ashamed. It's good. That serves you well. So, I assume you're probably afraid that touching the chalice will take your soul and turn it into an extra jewel or turn you into a frog or something. Right? I can understand why you'd hesitate to believe me. I know we've been friends forever, but it's still kind of sketchy, right? I'm just so generous and regret your short lifespan so much that I just have to give you this priceless artifact. Yeah, I don't blame you for being suspicious. Greed can kill even the strongest bond. But believe me, it can't kill my bond with you. It's not just about increasing your lifespan in a that's fair kind of way, you know? That I want you to have this. I wouldn't do this for just any human. I was just thinking. Well, I really love you. Really, really love you. Not just as a friend, of course, more than that. But not just more than that, more than even that. I actually became a druid because I love you so much. It always pains me to be so far away from you. Nothing hurts more than the distance between us. If I'm sleeping in my room alone at night, for instance, I'm restless without you at my side. If I'm having a meal, it's tasteless without sharing it with you. So I thought, if only I could become something like a spider, then I could be with you all the time. I could be right on your shoulder as you sleep. I could be right on your ceiling looking down as you read, reading with you if I can bear to take my eyes off of you. I could always be with you. And becoming a druid offered me that power and possibility. So that's what I did. And I really did all those things. Sleeping with you, reading with you. I can prove it. You can ask me what page you stopped at last night, or ask me what you were dreaming about. You were mumbling a bit about your dream, after all. It was honestly so cute. I can answer all those things. I love those things. Activities with you. I wish I could do them with you forever. They're so much fun. But there's just one problem. You'll die of old age long before I will. So, we won't have much time to spend together. Believe me, I'm not doing this whole thing out of generosity. I'm being selfish. I want more of that high you give me. So, will you at least believe that I'm not tricking you? The chalice isn't going to steal your soul or turn you into a frog or anything. It's not cursed, I promise. So, will you do as I say? And grip the chalice? Thank you. Now, just keep doing that. Keep gripping it. Good. Let me just put in these 2 hairs. Nice! Just like the tree said, the hairs dissolve and the cup becomes filled with a clear liquid. Okay, now drink it. After that, it'll be done. And you'll have a lifespan of a few centuries longer. Then the chalice will vanish. Like I said, shame we can't sell it, but your life matters more. We can just tell the other 2 we never found it. But enough of that. Go on, drink. Chug that bad boy. How did it taste? My tongue felt all sweet just watching you. That's interesting to hear. Now, come on, let's head back. No telling when those 2 will wake up. What's the matter? Did you want to ask me something? Oh, you wanted to know whose hair I put in the cup. Well, okay. I guess I can tell you. You already drank it after all. They were a hair each from our other 2 party members. The tree told me all about it in vivid detail. You put up to 2 hairs into the chalice, 1 each from a different long-lived race, like dwarves. Then the chalice takes off a century or 2 from the victim's life and turns it into a liquid that transfers the lost lifespan to whoever drinks it. Which, fortunately for us both, was you. If we're lucky, those 2 won't even notice what happened to them. The tree said they don't visibly age. I know I said the chalice wasn't cursed, but I don't think this really counts as cursed, to be honest. After all, who cares about those other 2? We barely know them. They're practically strangers. They're worthless to us. Not like the 2 of us. We're so close. I swear, our heartbeats are in sync. I can tell yours is beating as fast as mine. That's the sort of connection we get from spending almost all of our time together. Even if you weren't always aware of it. And now that you live as long as an elf, we can spend even more time together. I'm drooling just thinking about it. Oh, what should we read next? What dream will you mumble about next? I hope it's about me this time. I almost feel guilty, feeling this happy right now. Almost. I'm not one to feel guilt. Especially not over something like this. I didn't do anything wrong. Those other 2 don't matter. You're the only one who matters to me. All the gods of all the religions are not as holy as you. I'd sacrifice the entire world and all that it contains if it benefited you. So, if we're just talking about those two, I'll sacrifice them in a heartbeat. Now, come on, let's head back already. You were mumbling about how you wanted to finish that book, and I know you finished on a cliffhanger.